What's up, everybody? Welcome to today. Today is Monday. As you can see, I've got the other roof and the A-frame bar tacked in place. Just made the front windshield crossbar. Let's get that tacked in. Alright, so it is lunchtime. Not bad for 30 minutes. I just worked getting 3 bars in place. Super tacked is what I call them. They're not just little bitty tacks. They're good little 1/4 to 1/2 inch long beads across what we're going to weld. That way nothing can break free on its own. But, so, yeah. We've got the windshield bar done, and then the bar that runs from the front to the back there. I think that's going to be it for the roof for now, where I'll eventually put some X's in there, some more nodes to make it stronger. But I think the next one is going to be, we're going to work on the bar that goes front to back. It's going to be a little complicated because it's going to stop right about here and then hit a bend and go to there, because we'll have one that comes down. Per Orchard 4 rules, anything under 30 inches can be either 0.95 wall or one tubing size lower by 1/4 inch, so 1.5 inches, since we're using 1 3/4. But I'm going to overbuild it a little bit. Everything I've used so far is 1 3/4 OD with 120 wall. I'm going to overbuild it. There's going to be a lot of little less than 30 inches, but it's just around the passenger compartment. Just want to be safe. So I did buy some 1.5 inch 120 wall stuff, but we will use that for the little stuff. The big stuff the big important stuff I want to keep 1 3/4 120 wall, just to be safe. I mean, I'm gonna be riding in it. Jill, my wife, is gonna be riding in it. I'm probably gonna take our daughter to school sometimes. I know my son's gonna want to ride in it, so like, yes, there's a little bit of weight savings I could gain, yada yada yada, but let's just be safe here. Run the thicker stuff, run the bigger stuff, especially around the passenger compartment, and then all the little bitty nodes that we make from there on out will either be 1 3/4 0.95 or 1.5 120 wall. So yeah, here we go. as you saw in that last little clip, we were deciding how high this bar should be. I think right there, pretty high up, so it's safe, but it's not so high up it's a super pain to get in and out. I've got my little angle finder down here on the frame. Oops, mess it up. Come here. We will take that. Let's tack that in place so it doesn't move, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the bar that comes from here straight down and weld it, cut this bar off, so then we can angle it up to tie in there into that node, make it super strong. So how I find the angles, what to notch, is set it on this one, boom. We've already notched this piece, it's a 90, that's easy. But coming up, come up to our bar, very carefully rotate this guy. We want it to hit right there, let it sit. We're at 162, 160. So everything is based off 90 or 180. So if we're at 160, because it's upside down, that's 20 degrees, and it has a 20-degree notch. Simple as that. All right, so we come over to our notcher, and it's got the degrees. Right on 20, I have found this notcher is not quite right. So we'll come in just a little less, right about there. Next step here is to figure out how long to cut this next tube. We've already got the 90 done. So, you know, we want it to be in line with this one. So you can either measure lowest point of notch or highest point of notch. I usually choose lowest. I'll show you why in a second. So we put the tape measure right about there, come down to roughly 90, and kind of hard to do this with one hand. That looks like 21.5, close enough for me. So forgive my super messy workbench. It said 21.5 over there. So I've already got this notch all day, every day. Bam. So remember that point right there. Tape measure. Come up. 21.5. Marker 21.5. So where I measured is the tube. So imagine this is front and back. That was our 21.5. Just come straight up the tube to there. But it's kind of hard to tell the line on the tubes. One thing I've done, kind of found it out on accident, is put it on the ground and scratch it around, and it'll leave a mark. You just have to make sure you're rotated right. Boom. See that? That's your center line mark. That way it'll be square. There's probably some fancy tool out there to do this for you, but scratching it on the ground works just good enough for me. So that'll be our 21.5. So that'll be our low spot, and our high spot will come up this way. So what I've done is just take another piece of, this is hot rolled, but we're using all Dom, but this is a scrap piece I have. That line right here was our 21.5. I've just taken it, laid it like that, marked it real quick, because we have to cut it a little longer because the other side's higher. Since it's only at 20 degrees, a full length of tube is plenty. So we'll mark that there, and then you mark all the way around the tube. To get all the way around perfectly, just find something around the shop that has a straight edge that doesn't bend real easy, as far as like this way. Red Scotch-Brite works, a piece of paper, piece of gasket, something. You just roll that around and then mark all the way around, and that'll be your cut line. Alright, so what I've got, tubes cut off, I've got that first 21.5 inch line, I believe that's what it was. We take it, we run it into the tube notcher here, and kind of have to look down the side of the blade. Get it in there. That's about right. And then another trick, take that small piece you have, put in your 90, and then that allows you to make sure you are square, because this isn't a multi-plane notch, because they're coming off a 90. So it will rotate on that, we'll call it the shoulder bar. It'll rotate on that, so it doesn't matter what. Just happy night. Verify everything. Lock it down. A little lube. And then I'm gonna turn this fan on because it's really hot. So I almost messed up. Now they say measure twice, cut once. Went back and looked at my measurements. We were measuring on the low side of the roll bar right here. We should have been measuring off the high side. So went back, measured. We need 22, not 21. We're gonna be cutting at 22. So went back, had to rotate the tube 180 degrees. Marked our 22. That's where the saw hit. If you look down the line of the saw right here, it intersects where that 21 and a half was. So measure twice, cut once. DOM is really expensive these days. It's ridiculous for a full stick of how much it costs. I remember buying it for $100 a stick. Now it's like almost $300. So measure twice, cut once. It's not happy. There we go. Let's grind that up. So setting our tube in place here, it won't go in place right because the backside's hitting where we already have a tube. So if we do, come in and grind all that off. Have it tacked, or not tacked, clamped in place, top and bottom. Kind of hard to see the, well, you can see it. Poke came out good. So to check that it's straight up and down, this is still chilling out there. 0.1 degrees is practically nothing. Come over to our bar. Pretty close, depends on how you rotate it. We'll take that any day. Tack it in place. What's up, guys? Josh again, Apex Overland. So today is Tuesday, it's in the afternoon. We got wrapped up with the normal no data projects. 3rd gen right there. What's up, Bobby? It gets pulled in tomorrow. That'll be a big project. So work the rest of this week's be a little limited. So we've got a big project in the shop again. So we got done. It's like 4 o'clock right now, roughly. So just now started working on this thing, but I got some dash stuff done, more tube work to show you guys. So you saw all that last time. this. We got that thing welded in. We've got the stringers that come up on both sides. It's still very hot, otherwise I would touch it. So that'll work there. And I think next is what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these tacks that hold all 4 of these plates off once this cools down, and take and set it off. And the reason we're doing that is I have to make floor. We're getting this done because 2 bending schedule. So we'll get the floor done as much as we can up to roughly the firewall in separate pieces, so they can be taken off. And then once that's done, we will put this thing back on and start fully welding it in. I had some ideas over here on this side of exactly how I want to lay it out, so you guys can kind of see with tape where I'm thinking about putting tube. I really need to sit in here and make sure that's not too close to my head. It just, this gap right here, I wanted to have this gap because I'm gonna put the battery either behind the driver or the passenger seat with a little box. So it's like a firewall, I guess you could say, because we have to have a firewall anyways for the fuel cell. But have it over here so it's super easy to get to. So if you have to get the battery, you can either lean behind the seat to jump it, or just remove this whole panel with the quick turns that we have. And you can change your battery in and out really easy. And then in the other side, we'll have some other things. Don't know what yet, but it'll be stuff pertaining to getting the thing running and driving. And then obviously the fuel cell will sit back here behind the cage, and then radiator up here. But been playing around with ideas of what exactly we're gonna make this look like. So that's one. Let me show you another design I had. That's the other design. Not sure how I feel about this one, honestly. Obviously we would just fill in all that. And maybe this. Just not sure what I want to do there. And let me show the other design. And then that right there is the final design. I'm just, well, that may not work since it doesn't even hold on tape. But there we go. So yeah, just unsure of what I want to do. It's nowhere near my head. So just unsure. It'll be tube, so the long one will be the 1 3/4, and then the short ones will be the 1.5 inch. Same thing with that guy. I'm unsure if they put one there. I have to look up some more rules. I don't see any pictures of anybody running one there, but I think that one would just be a smart one to do regardless. Do it at an 1.5 inch, and then plus it gives you a handle to get in and out, which is probably not a bad idea. So yeah. So sitting in the seat, this is the last design. Just sit more straight up. So that's it. You can see the head clearance, plenty of room there. And even this one right here, as you can see, it's nowhere hitting my shoulder. And even the upper one, my head's nowhere near hitting it. That's me leaning over as far as I can. Like obviously the belt's gonna keep my neck from going that far, but nowhere near it. So it's not an issue. Definitely liking that bar. Just getting in and out, I've noticed I'm grabbing this whole front section of the cage a lot. So having an 1.5 inch bar right there to grab, help getting in and out way better. And then kind of thinking the same thing here. So that way you can pull yourself out on those 2 bars. I'm really digging this one. I gotta figure out about the rules. And if I do this here, you'll have to put a gusset here or not. I don't know. And obviously we'll tie in the lower 2 right there with the verticals here. So it's not like they will be any weaker. Unsure. What do you guys think? If you guys have built vehicles before or know somebody who has to compete with Ultra 4 rules, might send you FSU Off-Road. I stalk you on YouTube. You're building your own. If you know, help me out here. Yeah, I'm just unsure on the rules of right there, if I need to add a gusset or not, or a tube. Yeah. I'm kind of digging this one. Might run with this one unless you guys say don't do that one because rule XYZ. So yeah, we'll see. Right. I think we're gonna call that a day here. We got the cage pulled off. All the tacks from the plates pulled off so we can start the floor. Quinn spent some time and welded all our pieces together and then ground those flush. So I think tomorrow and the rest of the week we'll work on making the rest of the floor. Back on there. Once we get the floor made up to here, cage can go on, we can start welding everything else. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. I think I got a good amount to have everything done. But yeah, one more step. Also reached out to my buddy Max, Lexus Master Tech. He confirmed that the fuel pump for this thing is a 12-volt constant fuel pump, so it's not voltage regulated fuel pump. I was thinking it was, so that means I don't have to cut into the fuel cell like I was thinking to put the full fuel hanger. We'll just have to fill out, or we'll have to figure out the sending unit if I can make it work with the factory gauge. It'd be awesome if I can. Trying to think what else. Yeah, so we'll end the video here. See you guys. Thank you. On apexoverland.com, let's type in ultra, the number 4, all one word, ULTRA, number 4 as a discount code, and all Apex Overland apparel will do a good percentage off. How's that sound? Thanks again, guys. Oh, Warn winch finally came in for this thing. We'll show that in the next video. See you guys.